Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. Today we are doing a look at Midweek Magic. Don't have to build a deck this time. In fact, it's built for you, and guess what? It's Omniscience again. You may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana costs, and you do have an activated ability to give you some mana for some certain activated abilities. But there is a twist to this one. It's not just Omniscience, it's Rule of Law Omniscience. So you get to cast them for free, but you can't cast more than one spell each turn. So it's actually going to put an onus on really good stuff you can cast on your turn, and instants that you spells that you can use to respond on your opponent's turn. So if we take a look at the pre-provided deck list, I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to get. So very quick look at that as soon as there we go. So instant, cartouche, instant, some creatures, instant. Notice that there is going to be a good number of instants here. And that makes real sense because we also have Learn Lesson as a package as well. Hold on, let's do a check. I did see iTwitch a while ago. I should have noticed that. So Learn Lesson, okay, nothing too outstanding. It also looks like that the Learn Lesson might. Oh wait, they have Pop Quiz and other. Actually, color doesn't really matter, in a sense. Though the best stuff they give you is basic Conjuration, so nothing too big. Trying to see if there's anything. Well, there's some instances that go to sorceries. That's a thing. So nothing too big or too busted. I don't see a single planeswalker. But what's gonna catch us by surprise is probably going to be the number of instants. Card draw is still gonna be king here, though. You can't just continue chaining stuff altogether. So we're basically looking for any way to get card advantage and whatnot here. So that's pretty much the early plan. Still having a hard time figuring out what's good here. So it's at least we're going to have it's going to be at least more interesting than usual. I don't see why we have to submit the deck. There's only one. And there we go. We're going to give this event a try. We're going to see what comes up here. Going first is usually going to be key, though. I also noticed that there are some instants, but not quite a lot of instant speed removal. Oh, they let you start with 5 cards this turn and a free mulligan, so there is some removal here. It's a bit too specific, though. We get to take a free mulligan, though, and let's see. Whenever you cast your first spell on each opponent's turn, the only thing interesting here is the Dreamstalker Manticore. There, some 2/4-1s are quite interesting as well. I might take the free mulligan also. Let's see if we can get something with more. Okay, Revitalize is good. Choose your weapons, quite good. Plague Crafter is a good way to respond if our opponent drops something that is really busted. Opponent goes Giant Opportunity to make 3 food tokens. So there might be some synergies here. We'll take the free Revitalize because it is basically Oh, and also note that our life total is down to 10, so that's actually very interesting. Hold on. When Sage of the Falls or another non-human creature enters the battlefield, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So we'll do that one. It's a 2/5. And quite a bit of emphasis on the Learn Lessons. So yeah, we'll do. Okay, Hobbling Zombie. Kind of fine. It's probably better than Tempting Witch because we don't have the food token shenanigans. Let's see if our opponent does have a response. Though the amount baked into a pie, so there is a lot of food token synergies here. We'll keep that in mind. And I think our opponent is going to use it to just leverage life gain. So with 2 cards, they took care of one of our cards and go back up to about 20 plus. Opponent is passing though. Hold on, Specimen Collector, create a token. Let's copy a target token control. Sure, we'll play that because it helps us go really wide. We'll most likely make another breaching hippocamp. So opponent is just gonna crack all that. At least Playcrafter is good in the sense that we have something to... that we have a combo with our tokens at least. Let's see if our opponent has a response, but we're gonna go at Arcane Subtraction, get ourselves a free lesson. No, free lesson. I might even go for the... but what is a good one? Basic Conjuration's probably the best one. Yeah, we'll go with that. Though I'm afraid that this one might backfire on us, but we're gonna go for that at least. Okay, let's see what our opponent's follow-up is. Trial of Knowledge. Draw 3 cards and discard a card. So, not too bad. There are a good number of cartouches, though. So I think Cartouche Trial is a thing as well. We could go Callous Blood Mage. I don't think there's anything that they... Let's see. Uncaged Fury would be annoying. Enthusiastic Study. Let's save that as a combat trick. I'm thinking that a lot of the creatures are not going to be that big, so let's just fire this off anyway. And let's see. I might go with the Cyclops Electromancer. We have quite a number of instants and sorceries already. Now, do note that our opponent could have something to flash in, but can't really do much about that, and so that's probably the downside of playing the basic Conjuration, but heck, looks like Dagger Caster, so snipes these. We can use Enthusiastic Study to save one. Do we even bother to save one? Because when this dies, create a token that's a copy of target. Okay, let's do that. Because there's also this double... I think we saved that. Yeah, let it fire. Make ourselves another crab. So Lightning Shrieker's very good. It's gonna probably also want to keep an eye on our instants and sorceries as well. But first we're gonna go play Crafter. And we get to sack a crab. Now, opponent is... There is a lot more interplay with this Rotten Reunion. It's a Decay token, so... Oh, they're gonna sack the Decay token instead. Okay, that's fine. And then, no attacks. Let's see what our opponent's follow-up is. If they go for the Rotten Reunion again, they're not gonna get much out of it. That is a very good defense against Qatar's Companion whenever you cast a non-creature spell. So they're probably gonna pass. So this is x equals 2. I guess we just go for this. Because our opponent can... Ooh, cast a non-creature spell to get indestructible. So we're basically forcing them to cast the non-creature spell now. Actually, they can cast it now. So... Yeah, probably should have tried to find an opportunity to bump it up. So they're gonna get a lot of use out of that. It also brings it down to 1, so yeah, that doesn't do much. But we do have bodies on the board, so we'll leave it at that. So I guess Lightning Shrieker is gonna be our win con. So opponent goes for Cavalry Drill Master. Let's wait for them to get into combat. So this is 4-3 first strike. We might just... Yeah, because double... Unfortunately, there is enough power and toughness that I'm not gonna get past this. So we do get to sack Crab. There's an Heirloom Mirror, not... Well, the discarded card might be a thing. So we'll swing first with probably just the Play Crafter. Let's see if our opponent blocks or anything. The Faithful Mending. Ooh, wow. Yeah, so that's gonna be a problem. Qatar's Companion is gonna be really busted here for us. We're gonna have no way to punch through that, especially now that our opponent has another flashback card. So I think our best bet is to just actually go up top with Lightning Shrieker. So we're gonna just give we're just gonna give up the Play Crafter. But we get to do a Callous Blood Mage to nuke the yard, which is probably our best bet. So I think our trick now is just we're just gonna go Lightning Shrieker all the way. We'll just keep taking hits off the Qatar's Companion. Can't really do much about that, but we can kind of race that way. Inkling Summoning, well, they can't cast it now. That's the good news. A bit of damage. Still concerned about the... We might as well just play the Iron Golem. Yeah, because I want to get in, but I kind of want to save on that one. Let's not get in too hastily. Tempted to swing now, but not quite. So let's see, Crypt Lurker, we can discard or sack something. Heirloom Mirror gets us a 4/4, which is neat. We just need to force our opponent to start using up their cards, and they've used up quite a bit, but they got a lot more as well. Okay, used up the Inkling Summoning, so they... So no point that... So we'll just take the hit. So Ethereum Spinner, whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater. Interesting combo, might be a while to set up. I might as well just cast a Crypt Lurker now. Gives us something to block Qatar's Companion. Discard the creature card. Probably want to discard the Hobbling Zombie. Bartered Cow. When it dies or when you discard it. Oh, that would have been a nice combination. So we'll swing with the we'll swing with the Electromancer, force out the combat trick or whatnot. So I do like to play the Ethereums. It'd been nice if I had drawn this earlier though. Opponent Infernal Grasp. Wow. So 3, 4, 5, 6. We're just getting domed quite. We're getting domed quite a bit here. So how do we gain life? That's another issue. High twitch. Yeah, so Qatar's Companion is very good here. Oh, opponent held back. Sarkhan's Rage. Yeah, that's good game. So that is the gameplay. So now that we got a taste for the gameplay, we now know, we kind of know more or less how to act accordingly. Yeah, so creatures like Qatar's Companion are going to be a real issue, so we need to save what little removal we have for it as well. We're gonna have to try to we're going to have to emphasize a lot on bonuses. So ways to go wide, ways to maintain our board. Our opponent managed to have it quite a bit. Yeah, the problem was that we could have played stuff. Yeah, so this one's actually okay. Alchemist Gift, fine. Glory Bearers, fine. Hunt and Fire Prophecy are good. Morita will probably keep this one, even if it's just to play Glory Bearers. Opponent goes Dogged Pursuit. So let's see. So, wow, they actually have a bartered cow. So when it dies, it gets them a food token, which I am not opposed to. I don't think I need to fell the fest quite yet. That's actually the scary part. Yeah. Okay, that's actually a good trade. Food token, not so much. So we're gonna attack first. Let's see if our opponent has anything. We'll just do Hunt for Specimens. We'll start learning. We'll get basic Conjuration. That should give us a... That should give us an emergency infusion of life. Opponent going to also get their emergency infusion of life as well. So we can flash if we need to. Opponent goes Sprite Dragon. Okay. Take the hit. Yeah, we'll stack it around here. Basically give ourselves some extra time. Okay, we'll hold to the Blossoming Defense because that's a very important card here. Our opponent is probably going to do some sort of removal. So our opponent can do the removal now since we're going to cast basic Conjuration. That should give us an extra infusion of life. And let's see. Webweaver Changeling is good. Plaguecrafter's fine. We'll go with Webweaver Changeling. Kind of skipped on the removal a bit for now. Okay, they kind of had to do that. They didn't really benefit from it, but it is a way to get them get stuff on. So we go down to 7. Opponent goes Garen Break Carver. Each point. We can still swing past this actually, so we're gonna... My concern is that our opponent could... Actually, we're gonna swing first. If our opponent does not block, we just burnt Igneous Inspiration to the face. Okay, they did not block. It is risky though. They could have a revitalize. We just played one a while ago. Nope, they did not have it. Whew. Yeah, Igneous Inspiration is very good when your life total starts as half. Yeah, we had to play around a lot of things. If our opponent did not think they have a way to win on the crackback, they would have blocked first. We could have and we would have been in a worse position. Thankfully, yeah, I was concerned our opponent might have had Revitalize or some other way to gain life. Thankfully, that did not happen. So we got our first win there. Man, we got a hand to go with that. So far, my feeling about this format, well, it justifies having more cards, though I feel like even that, I think 5 cards might still feel too many. I'm not too sure about the power level. It could be bet. Okay, so we are keeping this. We are going Blood Hunter Bat because really busted. No. Opponent has Sinister Sabotage. Interesting. So there are some counters. That's a good one to use. So this is actually a very good one to have early. Opponent did give up a flash creature, so flash, resolve, reaching Hippocamp. So you got Shambles Shark, which is flash evolve also, so we'll swing first. Synchronized Spellcraft. So that's actually fine. We'll let that land. Then we just play the Dragonloft Idol. Because we have another creature with flash. If it gets to that. Opponent goes Bartered Cow. Let's see, this is just a flash 2/1, so I might just opt to nuke this even if I get no other benefit from that. Our opponent actually goes up to 13, which is a problem. But they already played the spell. They didn't even sack it quite yet. So we'll attack first. Opponent just goes to sack. That's not them casting a spell quite yet, so nothing that great. And let's just pacifist in the Eye Twitch, force them to start using it somehow. It'll be slightly annoying. Trill of Possibility. Okay, just discard stuff. Ooh, having stuff like More Than Kindness Polymorph when all the creatures are at this level could actually be backbreaking as well. Sage of the Falls goes for a 2/5. So they get to draw and discard. We'll play Shambles Shark. And we have an Overgrown Arch, but Shambles, let's see, Evolve is Greater Power or Toughness. So I can play this one to buff it. I can also swing with this one to represent a combat trick. Though we will get blown out if our opponent has something else. So we'll just give it a try. Okay, they do have a combat trick. So we managed to clear that out of the way. But now we're down to 1 card, though we can sacrifice to learn. So that's still a bonus. Opponent also looking at the cards in their yard. Late to the dinner, gets the Sage of the Falls back. Okay. Okay, that's a bit annoying. Also gets even another food token, so... Okay, we have our own Sinister Sabotage, so we're just gonna play the Overgrown Arch and pass. And we can actually just use it to keep gaining life for the time being until we need to do something about it. 3 evolution's good too. So we can't counter anything if our opponent goes for it. Yeah, the food token synergy is pretty much there just to bog naughty, so yeah, let's just counter that now, get out of the way. And since our opponent already cast a spell there, and let's see, Fateful Mending. Oh, Fateful Mending, very good. We're keeping that up top. Though we do need to actually draw cards, so pay 2 to sacrifice to learn. That we could do that, but let's kind of wait a bit. Because right now this is more valuable to us, even if it's just to keep gaining life. Because also what we could do is we can sack it to learn, get some, then Fateful Mending into something. That's a possibility. So, but right now our opponent does have the advantage. They have a lot more cards than we do. So what are we? Trial of Knowledge. Opponent's just getting even more cards. So now we have to really be careful. Our opponent has a lot more gas than we do. I'm tempted to just learn for basic conjuration, but this card might be more valuable if we can keep it alive for as long as possible. And we don't need to shoot her for a card quite yet. Playcrafter is a good option. Not really, because our opponent can just sack the Eye Twitch. So we need our opponent to get rid of that first, but it looks like our opponent's going to sack the Eye Twitch anyway, no matter what we do, so we're going to pass. Also, it does not even benefit the Shamble Shark also. It happens to have exact stats. See what our opponent's response is. Village Rites. So they finally get rid of it, so it's a good thing we didn't fire it off right away. Opponent's gonna learn. Probably basic conjuration's the best bet. An argument can also be made for expanded anatomy, though if they do that, they are leaving themselves super vulnerable to Playcrafter when it gets to that. Opponent, oh, they did go for the expanded anatomy. They still have more cards though, so let's see this play sequence that they got. They could also have. It also means that with all the number of flash creatures available, Playcrafter not so great. Opponent goes for Vampire Spawn instead. So Overgrown Hearts might be the one thing that's going to be keeping us alive for the most part. Let's see what they do discard. It is good discard fodder, I'll give it that. They discard the Poet's Quill, which I think is a mistake. Well, actually, yeah, +1/+1 lifelink, not so. I guess you probably would rather have Sparring Regiment instead. Also an argument for just casting the Fateful Mending now. Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah, we get to discard too, so not so great. Let's see what's our discard. No Way Out. We definitely want to keep that. Sphinx's Insight. Oh wow. Probably just discard these two. I don't like losing the Playcrafter, but we don't exactly have a better use for it. We have a Silver Flame Squire, but I would rather save that as a trick. I don't need to gain life per se, so we're probably just gonna pass. We can just play this as a creature later. So things are going to be very... I'm actually... Also because I need I have to assume that our opponent has their share of instants with a full grip, with a grip that size. Opponent goes Abrade on the destroy target artifact mode, so yeah, we're better off just letting it go. Hmm? So let's see if our opponent does go for, because we can buff one of our guys to +2/+2, but it's only so temporary. Our opponent, if they go for expanded anatomy, is a problem for us. We would have to find a way to deal with the creature still. Opponent goes Fire Prophecy. Do I want to just save it? I think I do, because cast with alternate cost. Because we can only cast one spell anyway, so it doesn't matter if you use the pay regular mana or not. Now our opponent can still dome the creature and then swing with save. It also means we don't get to cast Sphinx's Insight Boo. So they might have to bottom something to draw something else. Yep, they bottomed the Expanded Anatomy because it's super awkward to use, I guess. Let's see if they swing. They're not, so yeah, just continue to gain life. Let's just make the most out of this Overgrown Arch. So we got Uncaged Fury, also an instant, so we'll just play the Silver Flame Squire. Okay. Pass. Opponent does have a response. I'm actually having the food tokens is annoying because it's hard to tell if they have a response or not. So Revenge of the Drowned. Let's see. Do we want it on top? No. We'll. No, I don't really want it on top. I know I need another creature. Maybe not that creature though. So Uncaged Fury is a thing. We can use it to trade with Sage of the Falls if it comes to that. Opponent giving up Radiance. Well, because our creatures are so small, Radiance Judgment's not going to quite do anything. Dagger Caster. Okay, let that resolve. Opponent. So Sage of the Falls is going to be one of the key cards in this format. So opponent is gonna start getting at us a bit. We will take 4. That's why we keep the Overgrown Arches alive for as long as possible. So activated abilities are going to be such a very big deal here. So let's see. They have to pass. They just cast a Dagger Caster. They can just sack the food token so I can stop guessing, but can't really do much about that one. Definitely, yeah, we're definitely gonna go Sphinx's Insight now. And we're gonna still keep the Overgrown Arch. It just keeps gaining us life over time, though we're about to start losing that race a bit. Let's cast that now. Not like our opponent has a response anyway. Arcane Subtraction, Trial of Strength is good too. It at least gives us some... Oh, Divide by 0 is also fine. Again, opening ourselves up to vulnerability just by doing this, but we can't keep waiting forever. So, pass. Opponent does have the Divide by 0. We can counter. We'll just gain life first, and we're going to counter it by sacking it now. So what do we get? Probably just basic Conjuration. And yeah, that's a way to counter it, though it's not a very ideal way. So we have our own divide by zero if it gets to that. We also have arcane subtraction. Uncaged Fury is a way to nuke Sage of the Falls. Opponent goes Giant Opportunity, so it just makes 3 food tokens because they only have 1. It's basically super life gain in this case. It's a way to just make the game last even longer. Probably just block. Let's see who has. And they already played the spell, so I'm free to just go Arcane Subtraction, learn another spell. Knowing the size of the creatures, I might just go. Containment Breach is also a good one. It takes out their. It also takes out their trial and gives me a. Well, it doesn't give me a token, but it does take out their trial. So there's also a Revenge of the Drowned of our own. So we'll just cast that now. Let's see what we have as an option. Specimen Collector gets us a lot of creatures. We don't have the creatures for Vermin Gorger. We probably don't want Eye Twitch right now. I guess we go Specimen Collector so we can go wide. We are basic Conjuration is actually a huge risk considering all the creatures are of a relatively flat power level. Opponent did not have an instant to play. Fierce Witch Stalker, so gets them another food token. We'll let that land. So they're gonna have tons of food, but no big giant to go with it though. Now that they played that, we can. Yeah, he's saving it. Yeah, we can't just keep holding on to it as much as I'd like to. Opponent already play the spell, so that one's out of the way. Using all these combat tricks as a way to answer our opponent's creatures is quite a deal. So we're definitely playing Specimen Collector. Again, if we can cast it as an instant, we should cast it as an instant because of how limited. Yeah, because spell casting is a limited resource here. Let's see if we do draw a better creature than what we have, but yeah, this is the hand that we're dealt with. Our opponent is virtually at 27 life though, so we are super uphill. It's a super uphill battle. We do get our own vampire spawn, which I probably like more than Specimen. Actually no, we do Specimen Collector. If our opponent can't, because this is a token, if our opponent doesn't answer the token first and say kills the Specimen Collector, we get ourselves another 4/2. We do have to assume that our opponent does have a way to answer this, so that would be annoying. But at least it gives us a bunch of bodies on the board. Fenestrate. Okay, they did have an answer, but it's actually a very good answer, so it's a good thing that they used it there. So this does have Trample. Opponent going Cartouche of Strength. Let's Awesome, 2-4-1 this. Our opponent probably gets it back. Oh, yeah, they leave it on top, so good for them. Opponent can't swing, or they opt not to swing, okay. We do have a Cavalry Drill Master, which is actually quite good here. We'll do it on the Specimen Collector, see if we can get a response out of that. Like, we know our opponent's next play is just going to be Sage at Falls, and I'm definitely not dividing it by 0. Actually, I could still divide by 0. If only to delay it so much, but what other sideboard options do we have that are actually good? Opponent just giving it up. Do they have? They could have a buff. That would explain why. Awaken the Bear. Good thing it was used here and not during our when they're attacking. So I'm okay with that. So what do I make? I don't want to make another zombie token though. Probably another crab. So at least we got our opponent to use this up, so that's out of the way. Marauding Blight Priest, that's a good... So by sacking these tokens, they go up 5. Do I divide it by 0 now? No, let's just leave it there. Let's force them to start cracking these so I can... It makes it easier on the math at least. I'm probably just Fateful Mending. Actually, a trick I can do is I can take the 1 hit from this, then just bounce it when they do go for the second one, so they lose out on 1 trigger. But we... Okay, let's let that resolve. We take 1. So we denied the second hit. They do gain life, but yeah, that's not bad. I might just go Inkling Summoning. Oh, opponent concedes. I would say that's a bit on the premature side, but we did get them to concede, so we'll take that. I think our opponent is expecting to do an exact amount of damage based on that, but oh come on, they could have also swung. They were not out of the count yet. It could also be that the game is taking way too long for what it's worth. So that's also going to be a complaint that we're going to have about this format, is that wow, the games can be really grindy. Like, we're already 40. It's just our third game. It's just our third game and we're already close to 45 minutes in. My goodness. Who wants to play forever? Okay, so Cartouche, Lightning Strike's good. Crushing Disappointment. Oh, that's very good. So, a bit sad, but we will keep this one. We'll play the Kinseekers to no value. So opponent has a Breaching Hippocamp, which actually doesn't pair off quite well. We can still block, and this is when it enters the battlefield, untap another target. It's actually very good much later. This early, Turmo Alchemist. We'll go Stormrider Spirit now. And just start swinging for now. Let's see how our opponent responds to this. I am not inclined to put a Cartouche of Strength quite right away, though. It's actually it is a good way to nuke the Turbo Alchemist. Actually, let's do that. Let's see if our opponent does have a response. Okay, let's see if our opponent still has a response. start. It's... Yeah, we do want to fight. So finish is going to be the way they used to nuke one of our creatures. Most likely the Kinseekers. In response, we can... Let's see which one they go for. They might actually go for the Storm Rider Spirit because that has flying. Oh, they go for that. We'll take the 4. We'll bolt them. Since we can do all of these in instant, we're going to just swing here first to see what our opponent does. They might have a removal. They have no removal. They might have a counter spell, which would be annoying, but I have to do this now. Yeah, that was a lot fast. Okay, that's a lot faster than normal. Yeah, having the right... Oh, wow. I take it back. The creatures, the power level of the creatures is relatively flat with some exceptions. But the power level of the instance and source of the instance are going to be what's important here. Like, even each player loses 2 life. It's actually a very big deal in a format where everyone's life total starts at half. Okay, piercing light. Let's do one more game. We're not quite there up the hour yet, but let's do one more just to see how it goes. I would rate this. I do like the rule of law requirement, but this is definitely a format where you are very specific about the spells that you have. So right now, yeah, Changeling Outcast is weird. We have to look for certain synergies. I might just play the Changeling Outcast first, because Arrogant Outlaw not as powerful. Now we could also just play the Glade Warden, but I think I want to play Outcast because it's one creature that's... Oh, we can also just play Omen of the Sun first also. Okay, Late to Dinner is quite nice too. Actually, we can now go for Arrogant Outlaw. And Changing Outcast, yeah, it feels weak at first, but then you have to remember that we are at the 10 life points. Opponent going to actually go up on life a bit here. So then we play Arrogant Outlaw, which... Well, so in the end, we lost a token, but we got rid of one of their kind of key removal spells. We'll pass. I don't remember any enchantment shenanigans, so we're probably gonna just sack this ASAP. Well, not quite ASAP, when it feels relevant. Yeah, there's... Lichar Glade Warden. So now that's how the battle is gonna go. I will block though, actually. Actually, let's crack this first. Let's see. Elderfang Disciple, Crypt Lurker. I guess we can go I do like both. Let's keep both. But actually no, we're probably not gonna have time to cast the Elderfang Disciple. We will go Crypt Lurker first. We will block. And we will go Rotten Reunion. Take out the Ethereum Spinner. So now we can go Crypt Lurker, sacrifice a creature card. Yeah, not having the instance. Like I want to cast late to dinner, but not in this economy. So we will sack the decay token. Wild Size is good actually. Netting us a free card is a neat trick. My concern is that our opponent, well, we did nuke their one creature card, so that turns this off for a while. Opponent goes for the juke. So they're gonna try to start hitting us up on the air. That's gonna be an issue. We have to go for ground pound. Opponent goes Duel of Dominance. Yeah, perfect time to Wild Size. Opponent can still get us for a tree, but never mind. The opponent conceded. By walking into that trick, so it really ruined them a bit. And we would have had the advantage from there. Our opponent had to go for it in a sense. On paper it looks like the best trick, but well, we had the better trick. Actually, also apologies to our opponent that we just happened to draw that at the right time. So yeah, and any other time they would have gotten us really good. Oh well. Okay, I guess that's it for this episode. It's a little close to an hour. I'm not so sure how I feel about it. If most of the matches, I'm pretty sure a lot of matches will end up playing out like the last two. That there is going to be a severe imbalance between the hands that you keep versus the hands that the other person keeps. Also quite similar to our first game. And there are going to be times that your games are going to end up like the second and third game that we played. Really long, really grindy. It's whoever can crack. Are those fun? From what I read in the comments, some people find that a lot of fun. But for this kind of format, maybe the pace of play could be a little bit faster. But it's hard to balance this considering you only get like 3 days to play this format. But I do appreciate that they're still continuing to innovate on Omniscience and not just give us the original one. That's going to be it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Sorry about that. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.